What does God expect us to do with what heaven has given us? Do we take risks using our gifts, or hide them for safekeeping? Why hasn't God given to us all equally? Let's see what God expects us to do with our gifts. Let's look at the parable of the talents in Matthew 25, verses 14 to 30. Why doesn't God give to everyone equally? In Matthew 25:15, we read that a man gave to his employees unequal amounts. To the one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1. It may be helpful to understand that all human systems are capitalist. Even atheistic communism is a form of capitalism, whereby party members make capital on the rest. In any system, greed and oppressing the poor are not righteous capitalism. The talents in the parable are spiritual capital. Kingdom capital should be used to show love. Those who are given the most are expected to produce the most spiritually in loving God and our neighbors. What is a talent? In Matthew 25:15, we read of an employer about to leave on a long journey who entrusted talents to different employees, to each according to his own ability. A talent was a weight of gold or silver. The Athenian or Attic talent was once about 26 kilogram, 57 pounds, weight of silver. Today's spot silver price is about $545 per kilogram, a little over $14,000 for a talent. Another way to measure a talent was about 15 years' wages. If this year's average household income is $60,000, then a talent could be $900,000. Even the one-talent guy was entrusted with great responsibility. What does God require of those with the most? In Matthew 25:16, we read that he who had received the 5 talents went and traded with them and made another 5 talents. Wealth is on loan to us from God. Those with the most also have the greatest capacity for doing good or evil. Material and spiritual wealth bring with them greater responsibility. Who among us has been given the greatest talents, wealth, abilities, or spiritual gifts? How much more can such people show God's love? To whom much is given, much is required. Whether they be spiritual or material talents, their purpose is to love others. Is all gambling wrong? In Matthew 25:18, employees were given 5, 2, and 1 talent to invest. But he who had received 1 went and dug in the ground and hid his Lord's money. He didn't want to take a gamble. Farmers, job hunters, and entrepreneurs all take calculated risks. There are stupid gambles where the odds are terrible, like state lotteries, most casino games, and jumping into business with inadequate preparation. There are also calculated gambles, like starting a business after thorough preparation, interest on savings, or planting a crop. Jesus took a calculated gamble in us. One man took the safe route and buried the money entrusted to him. What does God say about equality? Is equal pay for lazy and diligent workers fair? Is it right to base pay upon ability, diligence, and results? In Matthew 25, verses 20 to 23, we find that God invests in us differently. Yet those who do well are told the same words. Well done, good and faithful servant. You were faithful over a few things. I'll make you ruler over many things. Enter into the joy of your Lord. Bible passages indicate a double share of inheritance for firstborns and a double honorarium or pay for diligent preachers. None of these indicate God's support for gross excesses. Here are questions for discussion. Is heaven a society of equals or different abilities and levels of responsibility? If the spiritually productive are good and faithful, are the spiritually unproductive, lazy, and evil? Is the safe route sometimes a road to failure? Does fear often produce failure? Does faithfulness in small things lead to greater things? And does unfaithfulness bring failure? Should we waste time criticizing a boss as too hard, or just get on with the job? Do spiritually successful people just get down to work? Do those who produce more deserve more? Does the extra talent awarded to the most successful promote greed or their greater capacity to love? Does God expect us to take risks? In Matthew 25:25, a man who was given money to invest confessed, "I was afraid and went and hid your talent in the ground." A common practice in ancient times, before banking became common, was to bury money in the ground. It was a safer route. Jesus doesn't want us to take the safe route with His investment in us. It's a risk to share the gospel with others. They may hate us, abandon us, or believe and be saved. Jesus is not meant to be buried, but shared. He wants us to take risks and grow heaven's investment in us. Compare the parable of the talents to the words of Jesus to the 7 churches of Revelation 2 and 3. Overcomers in Ephesus have rights to the tree of life. In Smyrna, they'll not be hurt by the second death. In Pergamon, they receive hidden manna and a special reward. In Thyatira, they receive power over nations. In Sardis, they're dressed in white and listed in the book of life. In Philadelphia, they're pillars in God's temple. In Laodicea, they have positions at the throne with Christ. Some receive eternal life, others rule nations, serve in the temple, or are at the very throne of Christ, based upon what they overcame. It's very appropriate that we call the gifts God has given you and me our talents. Let's not bury them. We're happiest when we're using our God-given talents to spread God's love.